but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls.
And catch butterflies and
Your spot in the garden.
Reading and writing together can become a part of your everyday life and shared by everyone in the family.
The important thing about sharing books with children is consistency, so that the idea of setting routines and doing something on a regular basis is very, very important. It doesn't matter so much who is doing that. So it might be an older brother or sister, it might be a grandparent. Grandparents are very, very important in this role. And if you have an extended family, people may take turns because everybody's busy and you've got to share in all the responsibilities.
Can you do me a chimney for our fireplace?
Colin loves to spend time with his grandmother.
I like it.
Scribbling and drawing on the window is fun, and at the same time, Colin is learning to associate words with letters and pictures.
I try.
Okay. Good job. How about a sidewalk? Can we do a sidewalk right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alamo curled up under a cactus and fell asleep.
The interaction that goes on between the reader and the child who's being read to is very, very important during the read-aloud experience. It's not just one-sided, you read and the child is just listening. A lot of talk going on back and forth.
Do you see where he's going?
Try to ask some questions that are open-ended.
Is he going back home? Do you think? Where does he live?
This
Is that where you live?
Those kinds of questions that require a child to kind of reflect a bit and think about it and talk about it. This is where you build a child's ability to comprehend what they are reading.
See, look, Noah. The lion sneezes. Achoo.
like Nana, Lion.
No?
Sometimes you'll wonder, why doesn't my child like to sit and listen to books? If you approach it as if it's a lesson, children are likely to balk. And then there are some children who are just more wiggly than other kids. They just don't like to sit and listen. You'll have to follow that child's lead.
What about, look. You want to sing?
Sometimes just sitting there and starting to read aloud will encourage that youngster to come and kind of look over your shoulder because they want to see what's going on. They want to be a part of it. Don't interrupt a child when they're engaged in something and force them to come and sit and listen to you read aloud. This automatically has them turned off.
Come here. Let's go read it.
You want to keep it fun. It's often very brief. 5 minutes, that may be enough. Again, consistency. That will get expanded to a longer and longer period of time, but go with their attention span.
After bath time every night, Clara looks forward to her story time. It is a routine she expects and relishes.
No, hungry caterpillar or when I am sleepy? Oh, you know what? Here's a good poo one. You want this one? We have a really nice secondhand, very comfortable chair that a relative gave us. It fits a mom and a baby really well. And she has some favorites and then some she gets tired of. If she's heard them too many times, she wants to move on to something else.
I think this would be my favorite book.
Ben, in the meantime, waits for his turn.
This Mrs. Pigglewiggle might be my favorite book.
As soon as we get Clara down to bed, it's Ben's time, and his bedtime has gotten longer and longer as his stories have gotten more complex. But first, he'll read me a book, and that's a relatively recent development.
Clothes can't go in, but towels.
We found some great books that are very, very simple and have words that correspond well to the picture. So if he's not quite sure what a word is, he can sort of glance up to the picture and make sense of what it might be and take a pretty good educated guess.
Plop.
Plop. And then after that, I'll read to him. And sometimes it's a picture book, and lately he really likes longer stories that we continue from night to night, and it'll take us a week or two to get through a Beverly Cleary book. Is one of our favorites.
Ramona the Pest.
Ramona the Pest.
But she doesn't seem like a pest to me.
I know. Well, she doesn't, because you're close to her age. You understand her. Especially now as a parent on my own, I don't have a lot of one-on-one time with them. Ramona felt so sorry for the poor little shivering child behind the trash cans that one tear and then another slid down her cheeks. She sniffed pitifully. It's nice because it's the one time he knows that his little sister's asleep and he's not going to be interrupted, and the discussion is all about him and the story is all about what he wants to read, and it's nice for me too.
Now I'm going to use brown.
Okay.
I think purple.
Another thing that you can do at home is to have paper and writing utensils available to children so that they can get them at their leisure. Some parents just put these things in a box. And you know, it doesn't have to be paper that you've had to go out and buy. You can use the back of old things that, you know, those flyers that come in the mail. And they like different writing utensils. They like markers and they like pencils and crayons.
That's the first page. This is the second page, third page.
And that's the last page, okay.
Miles has created 5 illustrations and is now connecting them with characters, description, and a plot.
Change color butterfly. That's why she got the spots on her wings. And then
He's stretching his imagination and getting a good grasp on how a story works.
say butterfly, you're hungry. The world said, And then he folded up the TV.
Like Miles, these kindergarten students are working on their own stories. A parent volunteer transcribes their made-up stories, which they will later illustrate.
Hey, a tornado was in my story too.
These 5-year-olds are well on their way to understanding that reading and writing has a purpose, and that it gives them pleasure and power to express their own ideas in a way that can be understood by others.
It's kind of all floating in space, nothing really connects. And then look at your person today. That tells me how much you've grown up.
I was 4 the first.